today's episode, I am going to tell you about one of the most important organs in the United Nations. I am going to tell you about the United Nations Security Council or UNSC. This episode will follow the pattern used in the previous episode on the United Nations General Assembly. Before I go on with today's episode, please do like and share the video with your friends and family members. And if you like my work, please do consider subscribing to the channel. And hey, do not forget to press the notification bell to be notified about the future uploads. So let me begin the journey to understand the United Nations Security Council. United Nations Security Council or UNSC is considered as the principal working and most powerful organ of the United Nations. The SC has a lot of power and functions which make it different from the UNGA and other organs. The major function of the SC is to appoint the UN Secretary General. He is in charge for the functioning of the United Nations and its organs and other organizations under United Nations. The SC is also known for the right to impose sanctions. This is one of the few organizations which has the right to deliberate on the country's internal matters by imposing sanctions. The details of the sanctions will be told in the future parts of this episode. The other functions of the United Nations Security Council include investigation of international disputes, establishing systems to regulate arms, recommendation of admission of new members, establishing systems to regulate arms. These functions focuses on the main purpose of the United Nations, that is international peace and security. The Security Council has used its powers in a different way, as you may have known from the various recent stories, and also the function of SC during the Kuwait War or the Gulf War. These functions can be found in detail in the Chapter 5 and also Chapter 7 of the United Nations Charter, which is the Constitution of the United Nations. The UNSC is headed by the President, who is changed every month in the alphabetical order. The UNSC presidency for this month is to the representative of Russia, and for the next month it is to the the permanent representative of the Saint Vincent and Grenadines. This system is very unique to the UNSC and cannot be seen in other organs. The UNSC has 50 members, wherein there are 5 permanent members who can be considered as the all-powerful, and the non-permanent members who are elected by the United Nations General Assembly for 2 years. Recently, India along with some other countries were elected to the UNSC as the non-permanent members. But the problem is that the permanent 5 members, United States of America, United Kingdom, Russia, People's Republic of China and France, has the power of veto, which makes them more powerful. The United Nations Security Council has various subcommittees which are working on various aspects of the United Nations Security Council and also on the major function of the United Nations international peace and security. These types of subcommittees are standing committees, ad hoc committees and also working groups. The ad hoc committees and working groups are formed to serve the purpose required and to discuss issues out of the procedural way. The working group and other committees, except the standing committee, are chaired by the members of the Security Council, especially the non-permanent members, and discuss on issues at hand and solve them. The standing committee is chaired by the President of the Security Council. These committees are formed to perform certain functions, including sanction bodies and also solve issues which affect international peace and security. For a fun fact, even the International Criminal Tribunal for the former Yugoslavia and the International Criminal Tribunal for Rwanda are the subsidiary organs of the Security Council. Coming back to the committees, the five major committees are Counter-Terrorism Committee, Non-Proliferation Committee, United Nations Military Staff Committee, and also Sanctions Committee. This is in short for today's episode. The references used in this episode will be available in the description and also in the Instagram and Facebook pages Lokachandagan. Please do follow these pages. The next episode will be on Economic and Social Council or ECOSOC, which is the third important organ of the United Nations. For that episode, please do subscribe to the channel and see you next time. Thank you for watching the video.